You used Libor to set the AIG $182 billion and also the $100 billion TALF. Now we know that those are understated. Does that work to the disadvantage of the taxpayer?
We were in the position of investors all around the world. In many cases, you have to choose a rate to decide, use as a reference for what you're lending in that context. And we did what everybody else did, which is to use the best rate available at the time. Now, we are all taking a very, very careful look, and this is a matter of litigation, as you know, not just the ongoing enforcement investigations, about to what extent the rate was moved up or moved down or actually affected in any way. Don't know yet what the results of those discussions will be, and I can't speak to them. But you're right to point out that we, like investors around the world, had to take advantage of the rates available at the time, and we chose Libor at that point, as did many others.
Thank you.
I still don't quite understand your answer concerning the Fed's use, the New York Fed's use of Libor. On the one hand, I think you have said that, quote, we acted very early in response. We were worried about it. We were concerned about it. But it appears that the early response was to keep using it, which means it appears that you treated it almost as a curiosity or something akin to jaywalking as opposed to highway robbery. I think I just heard you earlier in your testimony say, quote unquote, it was our best choice. There are other interest rate indexes out there. How can a number that you know has been manipulated, how can that possibly be the best choice?
Well, again, we were concerned about this, and we did the important, very consequential thing of bringing it to the attention of the full complement of regulatory authorities that Congress has given responsibility and authority for market manipulation and abuse.
But you weren't obligated to use it. The New York Fed was not obligated to use Libor, yes or no?
No, of course not. But we had to make a basic choice among alternatives at that time, and I think that was the right choice back then.
Between a manipulated number and a non-manipulated number.
No, again, I wouldn't say it that way. I would say this was a rate that was structured in a way that was vulnerable to misreporting. We were very concerned about that, and what we decided to do was to try to initiate a reform of the process with the British, but also just to make sure the relevant authorities made use of it.
If I could, Mr. Secretary, I'm sorry, we have a limited amount of time. I'd like to ask another question here.